In today's report, I'm just going to focus on gold. I don't see anything to inspire me to do anything with the stock, um, part of one's portfolio right now, or energy. They are, as far as I'm concerned, they're still moving down into intermediate cycle lows, and I don't see anything that would indicate that we got a bottom today. So that there's just nothing that needs to be done with in either one of those sectors right now. Gold, on the other hand, I'm starting to see some promising signs. Um, this evening, after the close this afternoon, we are getting some follow through on gold. And we are breaking this trend line. Now, keep in mind, this isn't really a valid trend line because this um, pivot didn't occur below this one. So, actually, the correct way to draw this trend line is like so. See, we've got a breakout, but then we dropped back below it, broken out again, retested it, and we are getting some follow through. That's one of the things that has been severely lacking lately. Is just every time we get something that looks promising, there's just no follow through the next day, and the gold gets beaten down usually by a pre-market attack. Um, and that may be changing. Um, we'll just have to see how we open tomorrow morning, and if this follow through remains. Um, the next couple of things I want to point out is that, and I think I did this in my last um, my metals update this afternoon, but I noted that gold had recovered all three of these resistance levels. This was the level the bank needed to break and trigger the bloodbath phase. They tried 3 times. They haven't been able to do it. And, we've got a nice reversal, bullish engulfing candle today, and we're starting to get some follow through. So I'm still hopeful, although not ready to bet the farm on it, that we may finally have one of the bullion banks that gets caught in a short squeeze. Um, and I pray to God that they just lose billions of dollars. It's time for these crooks to get kicked in the teeth. So anyway, a change here from what we've seen lately. We do appear to be trying to get some follow through. We've recovered this first resistance zone. This is the second resistance zone at this pivot. You can see we've recovered that one as well. And then this final pivot right here. Tried to drop back below it. They tried to push it below it yesterday, kind of closed right on that support zone. And then today tried to push it down, couldn't hold it. And, a big move higher. And things are looking promising this evening anyway. All right, moving on to the miners. GDX is on the verge of recovering this consolidation box. I think that would be a very bullish sign. Zoom in here a little bit. If the follow through on gold can hold tomorrow, and especially if we were to get a big surge in gold tomorrow, maybe above 1300, then I would think that we would get a strong move in miners back above or back into this consolidation box and maybe a strong close inside. At that point, I think I would be prepared to say that well, you can at least take another 25% position. As you know, I gave my blessing to go ahead and take 25% today, and then see if we can get some follow through tomorrow. If we do, then I'm going to say you can at least add another 25% to your metal allocation, maybe 50% if if you're willing to, or not quite as risk adverse. If you're willing to take more risk, maybe you could add 50% if we have a strong move tomorrow and finish back above this, or back into this consolidation box. at least on GDX anyway, this looks like we've got a triangle um, pattern. These are usually continuation patterns, but I have noticed uh, every once in a while the metals will bottom with one of these type of triangle consolidation patterns, and you can see GDX just marginally broke above this upper trend line um, this or on Thursday. Um, if we can get some follow through tomorrow, then I would be optimistic that this triangle pattern is a bottoming pattern and not a continuation pattern. Um, and then moving on to the RSI, as I've pointed out many times in the past, during the advancing phase of an intermediate cycle, RSI will get overbought and stay overbought. During the declining phase, it tends to get oversold and stay oversold. You can see here during this declining phase, RSI stayed deeply oversold. Any push to even a slightly overbought level was quickly followed by another move down. So this may be something we want to watch tomorrow, especially because we are overbought with today's rally. If we get follow through and this becomes more overbought tomorrow, especially if we were to get a big day up day, maybe something that takes GDX. I would be very encouraged if we could get above 21 and close above 21. So basically get out of this kind of a consolidation box that we've got right here. All right. So if we can get a nice rally tomorrow that can close above this peak here, on close outside of this consolidation box, push this, and this is just the 3-day RSI. This would be a little bit more meaningful if it was the 5-day, but you can see during this entire decline into the ICL, we haven't even been able to hold an overbought level on the 3-day RSI. So if we could at least do that, that would be a very encouraging sign. So the two things I want to see tomorrow, I would like to see a close outside of this consolidation box, and I'd like to see this RSI, at least the 3-day RSI, become more overbought. And if those two things could happen, then I'm going to give my blessing to start adding to metal positions under the assumption that we completed our final intermediate cycle low back here, and that we've just been kind of stuck in a basing pattern here for about a month, and maybe that basing pattern is done. And I've been saying this for a while. I think that this intermediate cycle, once we break out of the cup and handle pattern, is going to be much easier to trade than this rally here. This rally looks well, it would have been very profitable if one had been able to hold all the way through it. But you can see it was so volatile with such big swings to the downside that in real time, next to impossible to hang on to this to make any gains. And only one or two people in the challenge managed to make anything from this. I wasn't able to make anything in the challenge off of this run. Just too volatile for me. I think that's going to change once we break out of the cup and handle. I think the intermediate rally during the second half of this year is going to be a lot easier to make money. We just need to get some sign that we are ready to start that rally. And I'm going to say a close above 21 outside this consolidation box. RSI staying overbought is the clue I'm going to look for to tell me that we are starting the rally that should take us into fall.